Hello out there. My name is Laolu Akonde, and you are on to Inside Sources. And here is my tale for today, entitled Two Things: The Imam Who Saved Christians and a Memo to Mr. Metawale. Today, I want to begin by reminding ourselves that our common humanity and spirit of unity as one people under God is critical, very important. And what better story do we have to illustrate that truth than the story of the man, the Imam, who stood in the gap for Christians who were being pursued in their village by terrorists in Plateau State on Saturday, June 23, 2018. That Muslim cleric is Imam Abdullahi Abubakar. He was then 83, now 90 years old, and he exemplifies the best of us and inspires the possibilities of our unity. And we should remind ourselves, especially at this moment, where there is a lot of contention on the issue of genocide. Imam Abubakar practically saved the lives of over 200 Christians who were fleeing from attacks by suspected bandits and terrorists in Yewagadi, Akwati, Sourc, and Ungwa villages in Bakin-Ladi local government of Plateau State. That was 7 years ago. Abubakar is Hausa and the chief imam of a mosque in Yewagadi, a village in Bakin-Ladi local government area. And his assistant, Umar Abdullahi, is Fulani, yet they came together and saved the lives of over 200 Christians when the suspected terrorists attacked their communities in Plateau State. Reports indicated that Abubakar, in defending the Christians, insisted that the attackers would have to kill him first if they refused his pleas, not to attack those he was hiding, the Christians, inside his mosque. He secured their refuge and offered his own life first if the assailants wouldn't yield to him. At a point, it was reported that the Imam was said to be on his knees and then rolling on the floor to appease the attackers. He prevailed, as the attackers left without killing those Christians. What a story. Why do I recall this story, this heroic act of an Islamic cleric? Because it reminds us all that as human beings, fellow compatriots joined together in this place called Nigeria, we are all one, and we are the same. We are human beings. We all bleed red. And our common humanity is greater than whatever it is that divides us. Even now, as the unnecessary contention is going about Christian genocide and Muslim victims, let the example of Imam Abdullahi Abubakar inspire us to rally together as one indivisible nation and do everything we possibly can to together end the devastation of violence, despicable killings, and terrorism that is destroying our people and belittling our country. And now a message to Mr. Metawale. As the Honorable Minister of State for Defense, your tenure has been marked, Mr. Metawale, by significant security challenges. And there are also strong claims surrounding your relationship with certain groups of bandits. Some of those claims you have also denied. But indeed, it is time to consider putting the nation's interest first, Mr. Metawale. Following the example of Mr. Badaru Abubakar, who recently resigned as defense minister, we urge you also to consider doing the same. Your 2-year tenure has seen ongoing threats to national security, particularly, Mr. Metawale, in your own region. And there are 3 reasons why we are calling you to step down. Number 1, the nation's security remains under threat, and it is clear that a change in approach is imperative. And the president has made the move. Number 2, with General Chris Musa now substantive Minister of Defense, your role may become redundant because someone whom you supervise has now become the substantive head of the ministry and is ahead of you now in the hierarchy. Number 3, the current situation demands clarity and strategic leadership, and a change in leadership may be necessary to achieve this. And again, the president has started. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's decision to recall and appoint General Christopher Musa as a Minister of Defense is a powerful signal, and it has brought a new lease of life. It shows, arguably, that the president is ready to confront banditry and terrorism head-on. But we must also be honest about the context. Is it not true that General Musa was previously edged out by some of the same actors who are still within the system today? Likely because he pushed for a tougher, more decisive military response against the armed groups. Now, that history matters. If those same individuals remain positioned in ways that can undermine Musa's authority and delivery, then the effectiveness of Musa's appointment may be at risk. And so we urge you, Mr. Matawale, to consider the nation's interest ahead of your own and follow Mr. Badaru Abubakar's example of patriotic service. Your decision will be a testament to your commitment to Nigeria's security and well-being. There you have it. Inside Sources is going to get on the road after this. Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today we are eating the road with a conversation, leading the show with a prominent Nigerian imam. We want to hear his own side of some of the things that we've been talking about in Inside Sources regarding what the Americans have done, the country of particular concern, the intervention, and some of the narratives that has been going on regarding that situation. To join me, I have the National Chief Imam of the Al-Habibiyya Islamic Society, who also in 2012 won the United States Ambassador's Award on Humanitarian Services. I'd like to welcome back to Inside Sources, Imam Fuad Adeyemi. My brother, welcome back to Inside Sources.
Thank you so much. I'm surprised. I didn't know where you got that information, but I really appreciate that.
And it's very accurate.
Yes, it is. And thank you for the work you are doing too. I really appreciate, and we thank you for the work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I wanted to get your perspective on the destination of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the U.S. president, and some of the developments in the narrative. You are a leading Islamic cleric. How do you see all of these things that is happening?
Well, thank you so much. And I'm very grateful once again. You see, this issue of a country of particular concern that Nigeria is designated on it, I think as a nation, we have a challenge. Why do I say so? We are supposed to be seeing things, attending to issues on time, not when it turns cancerous. Because what's for governments for the American government to declare a particular country as a country of particular concern, it has a sequence. Okay. It does not start just by the promulgation by the president that day, but because we have not been serious, I'm sorry to say, we have not been doing the right thing. There is a report that United States Commission on Religious Freedom, Religious Commission, that always release around, I think, April or March, I can't know precisely, annual reports. In that, there will be a kind of a report on each nation, what they are doing, their own recommendation, their own opinion, and what the government should do. The report was there since April. Okay. Since April, that they are recommending that Nigeria should be termed country of particular concern. Since April. I do not know whether government do not know those who are reading. I do not know those who are following the securities that is happening in the world. As small as I am, being also a clergy, there's another report on what they call American Security Approach that was released a week ago. Just about a week ago. You see, the world which we live now is the world of intelligence, where you must read, you must know what is happening. You can't sit in one place today again in the world and you belong to the world. They have dropped you where you are.
There is so much information.
So much information now, and you just have to be above it. If you don't, it is like on the table where they are distributing things. If you are not by that table, that you are going to be among the things they will distribute.
Exactly.
So, and this is the challenges which we are facing as a country. There was that report that has recommended Nigeria as country of particular concern. Many of us do not even know what does the country of particular concern means. What are the things that leads to it? For example, they say when the government is not doing enough to protect a particular religion, to protect a particular group of people, that is when they do that. Ordinarily, had it been when the report was out, the Nigerian government would have been proactive. For example, almost every month, there used to be a Nigerian corner on American Congress. I'm not sure whether many of us are aware of this. Almost every month, there is a Nigerian corner where they discuss Nigeria. most of the times Nigerians are not there. Most of the time, those who are there in the name of Nigeria are the fugitives who are here, who are there. I will be talking as if they are the only Nigerian. Where is our government?
But on point.
Where is it? So what is happening now, I see it as the negligence from our government. I'm sorry I have to say this. It's just negligence. And that is why I've been canvassing that there must be an office that we warehouse all things about religion in this country. We cannot downplay religion, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, you made this point in your last appearance.
Yes, we can't downplay it. And not until we realize the way it means. It's like the way everybody plays football. Let's say there's no organization that's in charge of football. Everybody is playing anyhow we want. Yeah. We won't be anywhere.
There will be no coordination.
No coordination. We won't be able to even go for World Cup. We won't be able to even Africa because we have an office that warehouses everything about football, training, development, and everything you think about. Until we have something like that, many people are afraid of that office. They think government will control everything about religion. No, that shouldn't be the reason. And that's why government should sit down. How do we do this thing? And that's the only thing. So let me also continue. When the government they declare us as country of particular concern, Nigeria did not respond. They recommended. Government did not respond. There are some people who move from Nigeria to America to go and be discussing this thing. Nigerians are watching. Nigeria has seen. The government is not saying anything. If I beat you today, you didn't say, if I come to your house, I carry your money, you didn't say anything. I come to your house, I carry your car, you didn't say anything. A day I might come, I might say everybody should go out of that car, that house, and that house belongs to me. Because had it been the first time I come, you fight me, or you try to even cut that hand, I won't think to come again.
True.
So that is exactly what is happening between America and Nigeria, the issue of declaring Nigeria as a country of particular concern. So we need to understand that. And when the producer America now say that Nigerians, the Christians are being killed in Nigeria. Yes, the Christians are being killed, no doubt about that. But equally, if not more, Muslims are equally being killed.
Yeah. True.
So that is true. So the issue is that we are being killed in this country. To have said Christian is to insult our integrity. To have just said Christians are being killed.
That is not only.
That all Christian, there's a genocide for Christians in this country. It sounds insulting to our personality as a nation. I'm sorry. Because it's like, if I'm talking to you now that, oh, this thing you are holding, you are just holding a pen, there is no paper there. I said, no, the only thing you are holding is just a pen. And you say you are holding a paper. I said, no, I'm not seeing it. Is that something is wrong with me or something is wrong with you?
I see your point.
This is exactly what is happening. Is insulting our integrity, insulting our intelligence to say that Christians are being killed. Have you forgotten there was an incident in which the military said they mistakenly killed they mistakenly dropped a bomb. More than 100 people were killed when they were doing around Kaduna. I don't know whether you remember.
Yes, true.
Was there said to say, oh, they were killing Muslims. People did not say either that they were killing Muslims, that people were killed. That was the language. The military kill people. Where should this kind of thing happen? That is what you should be talking about. One life, to us, is life of everybody. That they are killing people like mosquito. Even mosquito, you can't kill. Like when you kill plenty mosquito, your body will be shaking.
Exactly.
That is even mosquito. Talk less of human beings. Who are being killed in hundreds, in 10. I was discussing with somebody today. When we are young, when they bury one person in our street, in a street that next to us, the next 3 months we will not pass through that street. We'll be afraid. I think you must have experienced the same thing. When we are small, when they are watching television, when they say 3 people had an accident and they died, if you see everybody say, yay, today 20 people killed, nobody's even mentioning anything. Our body is used to something has done to our psyche. This is what is happening today, that they say that Nigeria is being designated as a country of particular concern. I think I will not blame the American government. I will rather blame the Nigerian government. I'm sorry, we do things like fire brigade approach. Even these ones who have taught us a lesson that with this, the government representative have gone to America now to meet. They're supposed to put so many things in places Usually I use the word places, not just one thing. That should be the one for religious, that's one for diplomatic, that should be one for civil servant, that's one for, there's one English former speaker, House of Reps, he said parliamentary diplomacy. He said there should be something like parliamentary diplomacy. So all those things, there should be religious diplomacy. All those things are supposed to be put in place. Some with the hand of government, some without the hand of government. Unless government try to do anything serious, we'll continue to have more of this.
Interesting. And let me deepen the issue. Recently, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Royal Highness Saad Abubakar, said that the forum where Christians and Christian leaders and Muslim leaders used to come together, NIREC, that the forum has not been active, and that it has not been as serious as it used to be. I hope you heard that comment days ago. And this, it sounded like what you also said, that government is not paying attention to issues of religion, because NIREC ought to be the place where religious leaders, come together to form, some common understanding on major issues. How do you think, NIREC can be resuscitated and reinvigorated?
That's a $1 million question. The first thing is that NIREC does not have a problem for them not to function well. NIREC was created voluntarily by Muslim leaders. Let me tell you the story of how NIREC was established in 1999.
Okay.
The Catholic bishops, Onayekan, then, and one other bishop from Catholic, I've forgotten the name. Reverend Mba, who from Methodist. Reverend Father Mbang.
That's Sunday Mbang.
Sunday Mbang.
Yes.
The two of them, they met. Mbang is a Catholic, Methodist.
Was the
prelate of Methodist. Yes. Why he was the Odeka was the Catholic
bishop in Abuja.
So they came together that let us do something. Let's work together as a country, as religious leader. Then that's okay. Let's go. They now discuss with the president. This thing I'm telling you, I heard this from Onayekan himself yesterday, day before yesterday. So I can tell you authoritatively.
Okay.
So it's not a book knowledge. So he said they went to the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yes.
And when they told Obasanjo, they said, wow, you mean this thing, you want to do this? Said, we want to go and meet the late Sultan of Sokoto, Abubakar II. They said they want to go and meet him. When they told him, they said the president then gave them plane that they should go to Sokoto.
Wow.
And when they got to Sokoto, the two of them, don't forget, Onayekan and Mbang. But when they got there, they met the sultans. They discussed with the sultan. Then the sultan said, we have been thinking of this too, but the problem is that we do not know how to start it. Said, now that you are the one that's starting this one, let us start it.
That was in 1999.
1999. And they went back to Obasanjo. The plane was already waiting for them. So they all went back to Obasanjo, and Obasanjo accepted it.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of NIREC. NIREC is not a government establishment. It's only government is supporting them. But I think, you see, I have to be sincere here. You can't blame that NIREC that it might not work well the way it's supposed to. There are some people in government, it's only God knows how he will judge them because they don't like the truth. When they heard the truth, instead of them to listen and check the person that said the truth, they begin to witch hunt that person. And don't forget, NIREC has traditional rulers who government can just ask any local government to say, remove him. And before you know it, he's gone.
True.
And nothing will ever happen. So we can't blame NIREC. I always tell people, we cannot blame, they have their inhibitions. I went to a particular state in Malaysia. They call that place Sarawak. Sarawak is the name of the state, and Cochin is the name of the capital. It's 30% Muslim. Others were Christians. If you enter that country, you enter that state, you think you are in an Islamic state because everybody works together. You see the development in those areas, you'll be shocked to your marrow. In fact, one thing will make you laugh. If you are leaving Kuala Lumpur to go to that Cochin, you need another visa.
Oh, why?
That is just to let you know how strong a particular state is. Like you are going to Lagos, and they say if you are leaving from Abuja to Lagos, you need a visa.
Where you can come to.
If you don't, they will send you back. What I'm seeing is leadership, unity, cooperation, development.
So
well developed. Their transportation system superb. Their housing system superb. Even everybody has something that he gets superb. So and I always tell people, Nigeria were the luckiest country in the world. Believe me, whether you like it or not, Nigeria is the best country anybody could wish to be born. I'm sorry. My experience, my own little way that I've traveled, I know there are no two countries as good as Nigeria.
Wow.
Believe me, today, there is no country in the world where equivalent of 1,000 naira could be enough to feed you. There are many places in Nigeria today that 1,000 should be enough for you to feed one meal. There are so many places, despite the fact that we say things are hard.
Okay. But, you know, it's how you get that 1,000. That's the challenge, isn't it?
That is true. That is exactly what I'm saying. If we have a government that is responsive enough, but you know, only one person cannot be government this time around. When I say government, you know, it's a chain.
Yeah.
If the one on top is good, what about those other chains? And the power of a chain depends on the weakest of them all. So it is a chain that was supposed to do this, but unfortunately, we have very terrible chain on the road, so that even the only one that remains. Before you know it, other ones they are very weak.
Interesting. So let's look into the intervention of the Americans. You know, now that we've talked about their designation, the U.S. president said that, you know, of course, he said it will come guns are blazing. I think that has been clarified that, you know, he was just using extreme rhetoric. But the congressmen have a delegation that has come to Nigeria actually this week. I think 2 weeks ago, the National Security Advisor led a delegation of Attorney General and the rest of them also to Washington, D.C. to work together. How do you think Americans can help us deal with this problem of insecurity, this problem of killings in our country? How do you think?
Well, to me, American has the strength, they have the power to do this. That is one. If they want to do it, if it is sincere, don't forget there was a time one of them was kidnapped. I don't know if you remember, yes, in Niger State. Yeah. And they came in the night, within the twinkle of an eye. Yeah. They picked him, and that was all.
Yeah.
If they want that kind of an operation, they know, like, which one of them I was reading, said, our drone will follow you, our gun will do this, our this is much. They have all the information. They don't need us. They don't need us. It's just political statement. All these things. If they want to do this thing, in 1 week, they will eliminate them.
But we want to get the
consent. If our government is ready to support them, don't forget there was a time they said even some machineries were invited to come and do this. I don't know if you remember.
During the last days of President Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan.
Both machineries too.
Both machinery. They said this thing, there are no more than 6 of them or 7, that they will have finished them in less than maximum of 1 month, 2 months. They said at the time they were working, then later they stopped them.
Yeah.
Something happened.
That's what we had to.
So you remember too. So if the president, if the Americans, if it is true that this is what they want to do, believe me, we should prostrate to welcome them to do this. But in the history of American intervention, there is no single place American went, and it's like when a lion went to the house of a rat. It is blood and blood and blood. When America promised to help the people of Iraq, when they got to Iraq, in less than 48 hours, they've taken over where their oil refinery is. Is that helping the people of Iraq? When they said they want to help Libyan people, the first thing they took over was where the oil were. Now, Tell me anywhere in the world that American has gone there to help them and it's still the same, that country is still the same. If you know one, tell me. I don't know. So we just have to be very careful. That's why I said if America want to come the way that they can do it that way, excellent.
Just like they did for their
own.
The example that you gave when they rescued their
citizens. If that's what they want to do, to come and eliminate, please. In fact, all of us should be behind them when they are doing it, and we should celebrate them. But I'm afraid that is not the reason why they are coming here.
Okay. All right.
I'm afraid. So,
well, I mean, that's an interesting perspective also that we have to consider. Now, because of our time, final question. Now, there are those who have argued, that if we as a country, under the leadership of our president, if we're going to terminate this problem of insecurity, these killings, terrorism, and all of that, that the government has to go after those who are causing the violence, who are doing the killings, and their sponsors. What's your view about that?
There's no what's your view about that, unless we are deceiving ourselves. You do not only name the sponsors, you must shame them. In fact, the moment you name and you go after the sponsors, all the boys that are killing, that are doing this, they are suffering at the hand of the sponsors. Yeah. So I think if government is serious, government should even forget about taking care of any other thing in the next 3, 4, 5 months. To say the only thing they should be doing is paying salaries. Then I say this time around, we want to face this thing squarely. All those who are involved, who are the brain behind all these things, all our military, the security apparatus should be put in place to face this thing. If our government can go to Benin Republic, where they've almost taken over, and Nigeria intervened, and within a twinkle of an eye, the thing was reverted.
Right.
Then it means our government has the power to do this. They should go after the sponsors of these people. By the time they go after them, the country will be at peace.
Interesting. So what's your own opinion about some of the things that we hear that they negotiate with terrorists? We even have some of our otherwise respected clerics sounding supportive of terrorists, saying that they are not bad people, it is because they are not taking care of them. What's your own view about that? Well, how do you learn? That's final question. And I don't want to put you on the spot. That's why I'm not mentioning names. But
you see,
how can we manage that kind of a thing?
So for anybody to now say these people are hungry or they are angry and we should go and meet them, I think it's not right enough. It's not right. In Islam, let me now go there.
I'm interested in that.
The rule of Islam, for anybody that becomes a bandit in Islam, you and I, we are not to judge, but we need to send them to God to go and judge them.
Oh, wow.
That is the rule.
Wow. Okay.
The meaning of sending them, that you have to kill them, let God go and judge them. Yours is just to remove them from this earth. Go to your God. It is God that will judge you. You don't know negotiation when it's come to banditry.
So the Islamic religion does not support negotiation.
When somebody kills, it is confirmed that he is killed. In fact, Islamic religion is against the common Western law, where you will be judge and cases and cases. It has been established. Within 24 hours, it's gone. It's gone. The rule of Islam, when somebody becomes enemy to God and his messenger, God this time around are what he has created.
Yeah.
And you begin to attack them. Allah said those who attack those people, they should be eliminated.
Interesting.
So there's no need of negotiating with who.
So what do you think is going on in the heads of some of these, religious clerics who are saying this kind of thing? I'm sure you have heard it.
Yes, I think, you see, I always tell people around me, I don't judge until I hear from the two sides. Why are you doing what you are doing? I don't judge anybody because I do not know what that person knows. I don't know what he has seen. I don't know whether he's hiding some information from us that we don't know. But for me, what God says is beyond what any human being can say.
Yeah, absolutely.
When God says this is the rule, you can't go against it. In fact, in Islam, there is an aspect of Sharia called ta'zir. That is, you stop other people from committing short a thing. When you see somebody that is committing an offense that other people can do it, you now go and give that person money. No, you are encouraging other people to do it. You should kill, even kill in public. People will know this is what he has done, why he's being killed. Anybody who wants to do that again will be afraid, say, hey, this is the reason why this man was killed. I won't be there again.
Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Imam Fuad Adeyemi, for the clarity that you bring. Thank you for the insight, and thank you for your services, to the nation and to the Islamic community.
Thank you so much, sir.
And Inside Sources will be right back. Welcome back to Inside Sources. In this segment, we want to look at the recent ambassadorial list that the president has now eventually sent to the National Assembly. It's a balance between career diplomats and perhaps, career politicians, if there's anything like that. To join me in that conversation, I have somebody who was the State Director of Protocol in the Aso Villa in the past, and also became Nigeria's ambassador to the Republic of Benin. I'd like to welcome back to Inside Sources Dr. Ambassador Lawrence Olufemi Obisakin. Excellency, welcome back to Inside Sources.
Thank you so much, Laulu. I appreciate this invitation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So what's your take? What's your general take about the list? I think it's now about over 60 ambassadorial nominees that have been sent. If my figures are correct, we still have, a couple, maybe like another 30 or 40 to go if we're going to do the whole 100. But what's your take?
100.
Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for finally appointing ambassadors for Nigeria, replacing Nigeria on the very active track of diplomacy. It is his prerogative, according to Section 171 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, that grants the president the power to appoint and remove individuals from key federal offices, including that of Secretary to the Government of Federation, the head of civil service, ambassadors, and permanent secretaries. That is a rank which they belong. So ambassadors are very, very senior and critical, fulcrum on our door of diplomatic relations. They are the coordinator. They are the leaders, of the drivers of our engine of diplomacy abroad. Just like the principal respondent is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, representing who is the image of the president. Because, international relations, as driven by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, under the guidance of the president himself and the ambassador representative, is unique, complex, because it may interest you to know that of all ministries, MDAs in Nigeria, it's only the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that has no state counterpart. It's exclusively federal. Even in countries that are neutral, like Switzerland, I served there in 1983 to 1987, it's only the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that is, unitary, federal. The cantons, which the state represent, have their own ministry of local government, of industry, but it is unique. And it's interesting to note that when we started, and I think it's still happening, that the armed forces hospital, and the tax are united. They are in the same. They are served by the armed forces and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So it's not just any other ministry. And that's why we diplomats that have been trained, skilled, we keep on saying that, look, it's not for everybody. It's unique. That you are a good politician doesn't mean that you'll be a good diplomat, because it's a skill. They can learn it. But there are people that Nigeria has spent time to train. They are there in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and that's our argument, that Mr. President should please not let these people have the impression of being frustrated. And that as he is calling, the former Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, back to serve, the same thing you can do for ambassadors too. Even though they are retired, they are still useful. So if you need people, because Nigeria deserves more than 109 posts, I must say this, it's only because of economy. There are so many countries that Nigeria is not represented. If we're talking of 109, China has about 240 something, if not 270. So this is just my immediate way. We thank him for what he has done, but the ratio should be at least a little bit more in favor of career diplomats.
All right. So, thank you, Excellency. I want you to educate our audience on the procedure. I mean, having reported a bit of international relations and diplomacy myself, I know that when a country makes a nomination, even after it is confirmed in the internal processes of that country, such as we are doing now with the Senate, there is a process that goes to that country. Yeah. They have to do agreement. How long does it take? Yeah. What is the meaning of all of that? Because, I want to raise an example, and then you will comment. While I was reporting for The Guardian in the United States, the name of a former Minister of Education was sent by President Yar'Adua, and to America, and the Americans rejected it. So can you just educate us on that procedure and what names?
If I may say, the nomination, clearing, and assumption of duty by the ambassador is divided into 4 stages. Okay. The first stage, the first 2 stages are in Nigeria. The last 2 stages abroad. The first stage is when the person is nominated, it becomes a nominee of Mr. President. But before he's announced, he has to be cleared by the security services, by the police, and somebody can be rejected at that point. Because an ambassador must be somebody of not only academic intelligence and capacity, but also of moral probity above board, because he's representing the whole country, and we want our best to represent us. He needs that. Number 2 is the clearance by the Senate. That is constitutional. They must be cleared. Somebody can be rejected. Ministers have been rejected before, So number 3 is that after he has been cleared, the person has been cleared, nominees have been cleared, there will be, request for agreement. Agreement is a French word which only means acceptance. Approval. Agree is a French word, an old French word which means to accept. Please accept, Mr. President, the assurances of our high esteem. It's always brouillé, agree, Monsieur le Président. Please agree, Mr. President. Please accept. So the country will take the CV and they go and find out if it's somebody they would like in their country. They will not allow a PGA. The ambassador that was rejected, of course, we know what happened. Yeah, there was a mishap that affected his family.
Right.
And that's it. And the final one is the presentation, which is the ceremony of presentation of letters, because there are 3 letters of credit. The one recalling his predecessor, the letter of introduction, and the letter of accreditation, which he will have to present to the person. And until he presents that, he cannot normally do anything with the president of the receiving state. He could immediately give a draft to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So he can begin to operate on the basis of that. But he will not do anything where the president of the receiving state is present. So it's in stage. And that's the reason why, until the agreement is given, you cannot really, a nominee who has become, a designate now through the Senate clearance, cannot be announced. It is still discreet. It should be by discretion. Even if he should be the only one that knows. Because remember, during the time of Alhaji Shehu Shagari, our president, there was an error. Names were announced attached with the country of accreditation. And Europe, many European countries refused. They rejected. They said, you can bring another person. Because we have not cleared a person. How you say reciprocity is one of the pillars of diplomatic relationship is reciprocity. What you do to me is what I do to you. It's a very, very important pillar on which diplomatic relations stand.
Okay. All right. Excellent analysis. So,
and it can take time. It can take months.
Exactly.
It can take months.
I was going to say that
this because it may depend on how long it took. I was ambassador. I was nominated ambassador of Benin. I had to go into it because they said Nigeria, delayed at the security clearance for months. So, and this is also an appeal to our security agencies to not delay Mr. President's friend, because we are friends. That's why we have ambassador. It's a friendly relationship that makes you to appoint ambassador to represent the sovereignty, the sovereign. By 1648, the Treaty of Westphalia, treaties that ended the 30 years war in Europe and the 100 years war in Europe. One of the benefits of it was the appointment of skillful people who are skilled in 3 areas to represent as agents, to represent their country in another country. That's the beginning of it, 1648, the treaties of Westphalia.
Okay.
They are diplomats because they're supposed to have diploma in 3 areas.
Okay, can you tell us those 3 areas quickly before I ask my next question?
Thank you. The 3 areas are: 1, treaty. The treaty binding the 2 countries. Diplomacy essentially is divided into 2 aspects: the bilateral relationship between Nigeria and another country, and also multilateral. The head of it is the United Nations. You have the African Union. You have ECOWAS and other regional,
organizations,
economic and other relationship. That's the treaty. They must be versatile in the treaties. Number 2, they must be also skillful in the language or the culture of the 2 countries. And finally, history of the 2 countries.
Interesting.
Very important. That's why they were diplomats. They had diploma, which is degree.
Okay. Let us talk, Excellency, thank you so much for the insight. Let us talk about what happens, before and when a foreign country rejects a nominee. Now, I understand that a foreign country can say that we don't want that nominee, like you have also said. And, we have even a recent example. We're not so recent anymore, during President Yar'Adua's time when, a former minister of education's name was sent to Washington and was rejected. But I also understand that
a very competent person.
Yes, very competent otherwise, yeah. But I also understand that there are times when the foreign country will just sit on the nominee and not respond, and then finally, so that you respond to everything together, is the fact that Nigeria took so long a time to send the list to make the appointment. Does that, do you suspect or are you worried that might also affect the way that these foreign nations treat the nominations? Will it cause them to also want to take their time? Please, respond, Excellency.
Well, I don't pray so, as my Islamic people say, I wouldn't be like May God forbid this is happening to us. We have waited so much, we are wasted. So we are waited for 2 years, and this administration is already half of its 4-year lifespan. We don't pray that they will delay. We rather hope that will help. But you never can tell. Diplomacy, you don't know. A country can reject a nominee or a designate for so many reasons, for their own personal interest. If the person has offended before or is tarnished somehow, they call it PNG, persona non grata. They will declare the person persona non grata. And if you are, you cannot represent your country. Because actually, diplomacy is a noble duty. That's why you cannot just call anybody. And it's very risky to nominate or appoint somebody who has said terrible things, because they might embarrass you. We all play. Imagine in the waiting room, they begin to play what will be against the president, and it's you. How embarrassing. So I don't think at this. They have to be very careful at what is it. Can be the fact that we are waited for so long. There may be some who want to, let's do this thing. But also, the president, appointing them as the tenure of the president shortens. Some countries, especially European countries, might be very reluctant. They might just wait you out. We don't pray so, but these are games that people do. It's part of our 40 years we played it. We know it.
Okay. All right. So last question.
I hope
yes. Very, very, very well. Very well. Now, in your own view, in your previous answers, you had mentioned the fact that we should send people that are competent, that reflect our best. I wanted to ask you, you have not only been an ambassador, you have served as the state director of protocol in the villa. You have several times been the person that will sit between the Nigerian president and another head of state, and you are interpreting, I think, in French and other languages. So you are in this terrain. You understand this thing very well. I want your very honest opinion. The list that has been released, can you say, in your own view, that a good number of them reflects the best that Nigeria has to offer?
Diplomacy itself is a complex, profession. It has cultural, it has economic, it has sociology, it has everything. It's representing the whole nation. So some of them are very good. On other platform we mentioned, we know some of them who have been DG, NIA. These are ancillary, agencies that we work hand in hand with. Diplomacy. Every ambassador is an intelligence officer, because you must not forget this. And that's the reason why you should have a diplomat be the interpreter to the president. I heard that some agencies are now replacing them. We should do things as it should be. I can mention 3, 4, 5. They are foreign service officers. We should not go and take somebody from internal affairs. What do they know about diplomacy? Why is it that when it comes to diplomacy, everybody seems to be an expert? It's not football match. Even football match, you know what it is. You have experts. People go to training. There is a foreign service academy. It takes 1 year and it's equivalent of master's degree. After you spend 1 year already learning this work, then you go. And we keep learning. By the time I was leaving, I'd already acquired 2 PhDs. One of the most brilliant, in fact, officers you can think of, they are the Minister of Foreign Affairs. They're there. And they used to choose the best. And that's why I want to also speak to the training. Who is interested in frustrating the training of foreign affairs with all ability? During our time, I studied French, 9 universities. University, Ife, that I went to, Lagos, Ibadan, and then Osaka and ABU. And they both have 3, apart from Benin making 6. Then University of Zuka gave back to Calabar. Something happened in our right with us. ABU gave back to BUK Kano, and the University of Ibadan gave back to Jos. Now, all of us did the exam by the French government, and we went there to France. Yours truly was the only one that came with 2-1, and Foreign Affairs found me.
Wow.
So it was the best. It was the best. But now, I don't know when last they actually recruited people from the university. They should go there and do it, like other agencies are doing. Otherwise, communication, you must be a good communicator. You must have the demeanor. You must be able to absorb, very dangerous and contain very dangerous and volatile situation and still deliver, and of course, dressing, sartorial taste, because you are representing your country, So it's not just for anybody. That's why we keep advising they should please give us the best. We have waited. The world has been waiting for Nigeria for so long, for 2 years. How can we be the leader, hegemon, representing a regional power, an African power, and we are not there? We used to be there as far as Bolivia, Paraguay, Nigerians were there. The embassy in Brazil, we were there. We should be there. It's not now that things are happening. Can you imagine the way they classified us? If we had an ambassador, people have been able to report and tell people, you go into, that's what you are there for. You are patriot. And for information, foreign affairs, foreign service officers are very patriotic. We are not tribal. We are one because we know ourselves. I know when I was recruited, 19 states, who's from Southeast, who's from Southwest, who's South. So we're a group like that. I beg Mr. President to please utilize them. Make use of them. Nigeria has spent so much. I understand it has its own political also debts to pay. No doubt. It is, and all over the world, there's always a debate at the ratio. Like in the UK now, I think it's about 86 career and about 14. I have the statistics, in other countries. But in Southern Africa, there's a debate whether it should be 50 or not. But there was an agreement in Nigeria that should be 70 career and 30 non-career. But we know that we have a difficult situation. But also, we should remember that it does not mean that you have to be in the military before Nigeria can know. Because an ambassador has under him 5 different departments, including the defense section, including the intelligence section, then the military of foreign affairs section, and the local staff. And these people are very useful.
And even immigration.
Immigration
affairs, yeah.
Immigration, customs. I had customs with me. I remember having to sponsor the immigration so that they could be there. And today, they are issued passport. I didn't know I would need them. For 3 months, I was paying before their money could come. And today, the passport office in Cotonou is one of the most active. I also took advantage when I was working on my own and my passport suddenly expired. They gave me VIP treatment. Under 2 hours, I got my passport. Okay. Which I'm forever grateful.
Excellent. Thank you so much because of our time. Just one issue that I think you can clear in 1 minute. So there is a particular, or there are particular multilateral agencies such as the United Nations and the African Union where they would not reject whatever nominations of the president. Can you confirm that?
And don't say their agencies now, they have their own say too. Normally they wouldn't, but they can. Who does not know? You don't have small death. You can't say your father was killed by a cockroach bite. Death is death. Either by a caterpillar that makes noise or not. So
you mean that, okay, you mean that if Nigeria sends somebody to UN as a permanent rep, in New York, the United Nations Secretary General can say to the Nigerian president, no? Because
they may not say
they're not equal.
They have a way
they're not equal.
Letting you know, I'm sure they have a way of letting you know. But it's a representative, why not? But usually they believe you will not send anybody that is not worthy of the name. And don't forget, please, ambassadors know themselves and they have ranks. We still have our colleagues that we started a job with. I'm still in touch with them from Egypt, from all over. We work together at the United Nations. Wow. We know where they are. Indonesia, we were together for 4 years, meeting every day of the week, except Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So, and also we are very sensitive. Ambassadors are very sensitive to what category of people they are sending,
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Inside sources can reveal, authoritatively that Senator Jimoh Ibrahim is going to the UN in New York. Ayo Oke is going to France. Those two inside sources can confirm for our audience. Thank you so much, Ambassador Lawrence Obisakin, for your insight and for coming to Inside Sources.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. You are doing a good job. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Cool. Thank you so much. And there you have it, another edition of Inside Sources. Like we always say, Nigeria will prevail. It means that Nigeria will win because we continue to push the important issues. My name is Lila Oduakonde, and by the grace of God, I'll see you at the next edition.